Thank you. Thank you. 8:41. Fuck. No, my time estimate. World first, world premiere. Jacob has breakfast on stream. Thank you. Thank you. I wanted to hit my time estimate of the 40 minutes. I owe you a 12-hour stream just for being late. Fuck me. 12-hour stream seems intense. Hey, Dog Bunny. Hey. I guess people do that. Are there streamers that do like 12 hours a day? I feel like that's the type of shit you can trust people on the internet to do. But then they'll probably do like longer breaks and shit. Only seen gamer streamers do that. Okay. Nah, Sukor, usually I have my breakfast first, off stream. I was just late today. Today I woke up at I think 8:18. But really the only difference in the routine is usually I have the meal off screen. And I wait till it's 8. So I'm usually a little bit early. And so I'll just like fill time until the stream starts. But also today is like a short stream. Today we have to end not necessarily at my regular lunch break time, but probably like about the middle of my regular lunch break time. Because I'm helping a friend move. In this economy, I know. That's why I didn't want to start very late. That's why I'm having breakfast on stream right now. W friend. Star Wars fan. Yo, local pro-unk artist, hi. Yo, Star Wars fan, hi. Yeah, I don't know. It feels super cursed to me to take those 4 hours of work off that I will be taking off today. Hope I'm doing well. Thank you. You too. I am doing well. Drawings look so good as always. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not really good at taking time off work. But you know, I think Billy Joel said it best in Vienna. You can afford to lose a day or two. Vienna waits for you, right? Took my advice from last time. You started to do more figure drawing and work on your fundamentals. Sounds great, man. Are you enjoying it? That's important too. Like we work a lot. We can afford to lose 4 hours one day. It's fine. Help a friend move. Don't I ever feel like drawing after stream? Uh, yeah, sometimes. I'm often quite tired after stream, I will admit. Cool. So, continuing, this is hard, you can't lie. Feels so good to have that file and be like, I did this. Nice, man. Continuing from yesterday, we're doing more studies today. And so, I wanted to start the day with some active recall. Wouldn't you know? Like, see if we can still do any of what we learned yesterday. And the idea is to, yes, do some of like the exact same drawings, like to a T, but also try and see if we can still use like the system that we learned yesterday, the system we practiced. ND shape, exactly, Doblani. Someone's been listening. You want a bendy shape max. And it's really just a shorthand to make sure that, you know, you have a good like pinch and stretch between the pelvis and the rib cage. But it also serves as like a nice jumping off point for just getting a feel for the perspective of the torso. I think. Holy shit! I just said I think. It's the end of days. Now this is obviously like a specific drawing from yesterday that I'm trying to recall. So we kind of could already put the studies disclaimer up there if we wanted to. Maybe we should. It's kind of still studies, man. Put the names up there too, I guess. I'm kind of thinking we'll mainly be doing DiMeo again today. Even though it feels boring, it's usually good to stick with the same topic, the same area of studies, um, the same ideas for a little while, and then move on. Like already yesterday, I had this instinct where I was like, and now I want to move on to faces. I think that's a bad instinct. We shouldn't be jumping around so wildly. And then this hand was so good. She's very tall today. These legs are very long. But okay. System still seems to work. And then yesterday, I was kind of blown away by how good his like his background figures were. Even when they're like not important and kind of just a sketch, they were still quite solid. Right, and the background faces as well. That was probably the craziest thing. Something to practice there. Still. Looks like everyone locked in today. Go from the chat. Yeah, that's nice. And we're doing our jobs. Okay. Actually locking in with the head structure. Nice, man. I still feel like faces is kind of the hardest thing to draw. Certainly not easy. Okay, I guess we have no reason to draw you at that much of an angle. Something's off. Head feels big. So does this hand. Okay, I see it. Probably a little long, that leg. And we'll get to fists. We're literally gonna have to do like several days of studying fists at one point. But it's not for right now. Of course we can try. We just need to not get bogged down. You thought I was that good on hands already. I don't know about other artists. I find it unlikely that I'll ever be good enough at any topic about the human figure that I'll never have to study it again. That seems unlikely to me. Seems way more realistic that I'll always have something that feels like it's lacking. About the face, about hands, about the figure. But I mean, of course, we'll see. And then also the fist specifically, right, is the trickiest hand for me to draw. I feel like most skilled people really feel like studying things. That's how they get skilled, right? I would assume most skilled people to be the studylers. All right, cool. We tried. That's all we wanted to do right now. This leg, though, is really funky. Yeah. Still not my best leg. Right, moving on. Still. Okay. Yeah. Do you guys hear that? When it's like through the window? No, okay. It's Crime City again. It's an ambulance this time. Maybe when it gets closer, we'll see. Only the ASMR of my keyboard. Isn't that just the way? All right. I feel like that is, well, yeah, probably about enough. Start of the day active recall. Maybe. Maybe I want to do one more. We had the Magneto. Time flies while studying. So true. The crazy head perspective. I feel like I learned something from that. Like, I kind of still can't believe that that works as well as it does. Because, like, this perspective is completely broken, right? We can't be looking this much up at the torso and then this much down at the head. It's just not going to happen. Like, you can't do that like a human neck. But you can do it in a drawing. I think what helps as well is that we keep the angle of the head and the torso. It looks so weird. Fair enough. I really like it. I think it works out. But I understand that there's some taste in that too. Yeah, it definitely is unusual. That's for sure. A lot of artists do it to like some extent. This is just like a very extreme version, right? Um, I tried to do it here at the end of my day yesterday. I think that kind of works out too. Normally you do just like a little less, but the idea is that the low angle of a face isn't always super flattering. So sometimes you wanna have a different angle for the torso, a different angle for the body because the low angle is very imposing, and then have like a an angle for the face that's more appealing. I forget exactly how he drew the face, but the larger point was that perspective thing. Yeah, cool. Now, let's just check what's off. Yeah, the arms. I'm stretching him out more than I need to. More of a bend in that left arm still. And really butchering the hands. That's fair enough. Hand's difficult, so. Right, well, there's that. We should do some more studies. Where do we get to? That page, okay. Man, that guy can draw, huh? Alright, quick break. I'll be right back. Hi, Onerum. Yeah, we're studying comics. Simone Di Maio specifically for now. Welcome back. Thank you, Doll Bunny. I have an ambition of drawing some comics myself. So, I think being a little bit better at those quicker, dynamic poses, having a little bit of a library of them as well, is gonna serve me well. This isn't bendy shape enough. There you go. We did unmute. Yes, we did unmute. Fortunate. With the crunchy carrots. Gotta have it super fast. Don't get distracted, Jacob. Okay. Thank you, Jacob. Thanks for the reminder. Dude, hear me 3 times. You can start any pose with bendy shape. It's like literally the goat of shapes. This is the pose that I'd have a. This is the kind of pose I'd have a real hard time with if I didn't have this reference. Solid hand. And that's wrong. Hard is hard, man. My laundry's really already done. Uh, I might have to do that right now. That might have to be another break. Be back in like 10. Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. So much variety in this stream. Yeah. Bet y'all never seen a motherfucker stream laundry before. It isn't an art stream, it is a variety stream. I knew it to be true. Never beating the just chatting allegations. I started the just chatting allegations. So I've been reading Stress Fractures in Titanium. I work in metals. I'm a salesman. Name's Neil. Yesterday your friend mocked you by running 25 kilometers, sorry. You're afraid you gotta do the same today. Okay, man. Get him. Show him who's boss, I guess. That's more than a half marathon. Big ass bendy shape for this guy, because he's a big ass guy. Luckily Powerade is on sale. I like that this guy's head is just like a big capped trapezius muscle. He's just like what happens if you don't draw like the full neck construction. He's just like a floating skull in here. That's a fun design, man. I like that. Bro's kind of muscled up. He is indeed. So I was reading this comic a couple days ago. And either it's this guy or it's his brother, whose name is literally Holocaust. He's the son of Apocalypse and his name is Holocaust. Very intense. Very intense. I'm compiling a list of hard names. As in difficult? I know it's not as in difficult. Standards are high. Ozymandias. Ozymandias. Only real life names. Hit him with Ozymandias. That's fucking good. Yves Saint Laurent. That's pretty good too. Hard ass name. Doesn't do it for you? How about Alexander McQueen, though? Honor de Balzac? Honor of Balzac? Dude, you can't be serious. And you didn't fuck with Yves Saint Laurent? Did you fuck with Honor of Balzac? Right, it's not a hard name. It doesn't go hard. It goes funny. Just like that, you better be putting Earl of Sandwich on there too. Leonardo Fibonacci? Kind of reads as funny to me too. Kind of feels funny. So a big part of what I'm learning with the men is you really just want to be cutting out shit. You really just want to be sculpting shit. It's funny, what I like about DiMeo's drawing on the right there is actually how skewed it is. Which normally is something you try to avoid. It kind of goes hard in this case. That's interesting. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. It's better if you do it fully in English as well. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Just don't even pretend. Wolfgang Amadeus, I choose you. Giovanni van Bronckhorst. You just like German names, man. What the fuck? These sound weird in German. You don't want names that sound weird, or not names that go hard. I'm so confused by this list. Yo, Neil deGrasse Tyson? That's a name that goes hard. That's not a proper bendy shape. The proper bendy shape would be this. Admittedly, this is one of the less bendy ones. Arnold Schwarzenegger. The Governator? I mean, that's a pretty good. That's a pretty intense name. So what's the point? Why would you do this? Cleopatra is a good name, yeah. There's some good Roman ones, right? Cato the Elder. Caligula. Augustus Caesar. Marcus Aurelius. I feel like Roman names are pretty good. Robert Oppenheimer is a pretty cool name. Yeah, that's a good name. Shame you had to go and build a bomb and shit. But also, I guess if somebody had to do it, it's good to have a name like Oppenheimer instead of like, I don't know, John Jones. If like John Jones built a bomb that ruined the lives of like millions of people, that'd suck ass, man. Cuauhtemoc. Is that like an Aztec name? Moctezuma. Aztec names go pretty hard. Yeah. We can agree on that at least. Yeah, pharaoh names, right? I started with Ozymandias. Lynn mentioned Cleopatra. This pose is always like a diabolically tricky one to draw. DiMeo just kills it all, I guess. Julius Caesar. I think it's okay. I think if you want to go with a Caesar, I feel like we could do better. I feel like Augustus Caesar goes harder already. But Caesar is good, definitely. I think Aurelius is better than Antonius, but you know that because I said it earlier. I think you guys are picking the wrong Roman names, man. Because I'm a Stoic. Well, but also it's just like it's a better name. It's because it's like more exotic. Not fucking Mark Anthony. It's Marcus Aurelius, man. Yeah. DiMeo is certainly doing this with these men here. Or they're subtle. Like there's a lot of straight lines if you look closely. Or they're like subtle C curves, which I'm also doing a lot of, right? Um, it's kind of this idea of learn to angle before you learn to round. It's something that cynics said once that I took to heart. Um, the logic behind it is that say you actually want to draw a curve. Say you're actually interested in drawing a curved line. Say it's like one between 3 points. You want specifically, let's see if I can even do it, that line. Or rather, I'm making my own point, which is great. You want specifically this line. Well, it's kind of easier to get specifically this line if you break it down into angles, right? Now you kind of have this curve, but it took like 2 attempts instead of 10. It's a good way to make sure that you're constructing intentionally and that you're putting down the marks that you actually want to put down. It also just works really well to do a lot of I's and subtle C's if you're drawing men, because men typically have like a harsher look to them, and they're easier to, or it's a nice way to stylize men is to give them a sharper look. So angles, I's, and subtle C's are a great way to break something down that's a little bit too complex for you to necessarily nail it on the first go if you were to go for one curve. That's a crazy pharaoh name. So that's kind of the thinking. It's because I'm breaking down something that I don't fully understand yet, and we're drawing men. Those two things together means that to me it makes a lot of sense to do like a lot of angles. It's kind of easier to be accurate that way. You're welcome, Onarim. You're welcome. You can tell it's a good question if I go off on it. If I just drop everything and take like a couple of minutes. And you know me, I never get excited. Life is just one long slog for me. Vercingetorix is pretty good, yeah. Gallian names kind of go hard. Gallian? Gaulish? Gaul? I've been reading Schopenhauer? Nah. Who even is? I've been reading I've been reading Austin Kleon lately. Who is this guy? German philosopher? He's known for the world as will and representation. Phenomenal world is the manifestation of a blind and irrational noumenal will. He's a Kant fan. An atheistic metaphysical and ethical system. Metaphysical. I don't like atheistic metaphysical as words next to each other. Pessimism philosopher. Thank you for the explanation. Galileo Galilei, and then a bunch of names in the middle, huh? Didn't realize. Kind of pushing the foreshortening a bit too much on this guy. Tokugawa is a good name. But you never told us what's the point. What are you doing this for? Why are you compiling just good names that go hard? What are you trying to achieve, man? I don't know, just for fun? I spit in your general direction. You do shit like that just for fun? Bro, I just do things. it's the I'm just talking of explaining like your actions. Bro, I just do things. Musashi Miyamoto. Pretty good name. Now, is Miyazaki actually a good name, or does it just really feel like a good name because we know them for doing good shit? The Miyazaki brothers, you know, from Soft and Ghibli. The Miyazakis. What about product names? ShamWow. Oh wait! I have fuck. I should have started there, dude. Phil Swift. Phil Swift, kind of a name. It's Phil Swift for flex tape, man. Harry Houdini. Like stage names. Stage names are technically the names of real people. Okay, now a couple more whammon. What do you mean fictional names? Harry Houdini's a real person. Phil Swift's a real guy. What are you telling me? Hulk Hogan's a real man. He's got a real name. Nobody be named Stephen Lockjaw. But one guy was named Steve Jobs. Maybe he gave that name to himself too. Seems crazy. And Bill Gates? Another dude was named Bill Gates? What's with this? Third guy was named Zuckerberg? Constantine is not that fictional. Mark Zuckerberg? Hardest name is Black Dynamite. Hardest name. Actual hardest name. This one's tough. Top one name that goes hard. It can be fictional. No, singular names is definitely cool. It's not exclusive to Brazilian footballers though. Cher, Beyonce, Madonna. There was one called Socrates. There was a Brazilian footballer called Socrates. Socrates is a pretty hard name. Diogenes is a pretty hard name. Plato is a pretty hard name. But none of them are the hardest. Hardest name is really difficult, man. Ooh, no, there's no way. But it's a good name, man. Belshamharoth? Belshamharoth. Maybe we need to go satanic with it. Maybe there's like Beelzebub. Like Asmodeus. Zeus goes pretty hard. I don't know, guys. Hardest name is real difficult. Also because we have to acknowledge that the name doesn't exist in a vacuum. Like part of what makes a name hard is the associations we have with the name, right? That means both the associations we have with the sounds, but also the actual associations with the person who the name belongs to. Could be some Lovecraftian shit. I'm not gonna deny the possibility. Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft is a name that goes pretty hard. Dude, that's such an awesome hand. What? Because it's like barely a drawing of a hand. That's so dope for some reason. But naming things is fun. We haven't done a lot of naming today. Listing things is fun, I guess. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Just name dropping's fun. Yeah, man. I always really take some time with my characters' names. Like if a character doesn't have a good name, it's like, why am I even drawing it? Yeah, yeah. Brought you classics like Lady Kills a Lot. Now that I think about it, I kind of don't really name my characters very much. Like, typically I don't. Recently I've been working off of other people's names a lot, and a lot of the rest of my portfolio is just like unnamed characters, man. An underrated skill? Why? I feel like it's a rated skill. I feel like generally people are like, yeah, being good at naming shit can be cool, but it's not like the most important thing in the world. which is a sentiment I'd agree with, I guess. You give your characters full legal names from real life. Because almost anyone you've met thinks it's the least interesting part of character process. Right, which I'd agree with. And I might be the idiot. I'll recognize that possibility. Duncan, Idaho has name. Well, I mean, I'll let you know about the news. I'll be the first to tell you. But some guy actually got away with Duncan, Idaho. I think you could probably do John Carthage. Another bloke got away with John Constantine too. So I think you'll be fine. Get it twisted, there is one hand. You can only draw, there's one hand that you can draw. This is the hand, this is the one hand. John Elden Ring? Well, you can't do John Elden Ring, but the reasons are different. I'm telling you, there's a guy that did John Constantine, and he's fine. I forget who it was, but one of them famous pulp sci-fi writers has a guy in he wrote a book with a friend, book called Inferno, where it's like a skeptical atheist walking his way through hell. That the name of that skeptical atheist? Jesus Christ, no. John Carpentier. John Carpentier. I think you can do some shit with John. John isn't like off the table in terms of names. John Skeptic. Yeah, that's right. It's a little bit crazy to me that you said, like, 2 lines of chat away from each other, Amun, that A, you like to give your characters full legal names that are like from the real world, and B, you think naming is the most fun part of any character. Those 2 statements together feel like paradoxical. Like, the fun with naming shit is that you can do anything, man. You can call a guy John Skeptic and you'll be fine. So this isn't that drawing, which is bad because we were trying to do a study. That's kind of a problem. I wouldn't get it type shit. You're so right. I wouldn't. I don't. You can probably close the window now. Gotta go now. See you, Lynn. You like groundedness? I know. I just don't get it. But that's fine. That's fine. I don't have to. So if you want to name a character Giacomo Dark Soul, but you don't. That's what you're saying. Which is what I don't get. I can't I don't understand the mind that never wants to name a character Giacomo Dark Soul. Yeah, no, I don't understand your mind, pals. That's what I'm saying, yeah. Yo, wait, really? Yeah. Huh. Surprised to see that these shoulders break the silhouette of the torso here. What the hell was that? You don't understand my mind, Palace. Because I think I would have drawn this character in this pose by like constructing the entire sort of ribcage clavicular system. No, but I see it, man, because then you pull this back and you have this come out of the, yeah, it's gonna break that silhouette. And then the head gets in the way of the back. So yeah, it kind of just looks like this when it's not. But you can construct it like that. Oh no. Fuck, man. It's like in the olden days, like back before your time, we used to just say numbers in sequence when we were counting things. And so occasionally, actually, I want to say frequently, we would say the numbers 6 and 7 after each other in numerical order, so as to figure out how many there were of a thing. I was born in 1601. I'm a vampire. I've met many Marty Mousers. Some of them crossed me. And then I forget. They lied? They were dishonest. And those are the ones that are still here. You go out and win that game, Marty, you'll be here forever too. And you'll never be happy. You'll never be happy. He's so wrong. He's so wrong. If Marty goes out and loses that game, he'll be here forever. And he'll never be happy. If he goes out and is dishonest with himself and loses the game, that's gonna kill him, man. What worked out? He wins the game, he achieves his dream, and he moves on with his life. He goes home to the girl and the kid. He has what I read is like a moving on moment. His career is over. Yeah, but he's got his catharsis. He did it, man. He did it, and then he goes home to the kid. And I think he's gonna stay. It seems like he's gonna stay. I think he got like exactly what he needed. In terms of being honest with himself, winning, and moving on with his life. Like, he's not gonna be torturing himself every night asking what if. He got his what if, so he can move on. He gets to self-actualize, and he gets to have a life worth living in like other contexts as well. All right, I forgot to draw the actual drawing that I was studying. Whoops. It's not like his life is suddenly great. But it kind of is, though. Because, I mean, and this is one reading. You can say, like, this is not where he's at mentally after that game and after he sees his kid. It's just like my reading, right? But I think he's ready to go back to the fucking shoe store, which he's really good at, which means he'll have enough money for, you know, food and shelter. If he truly is ready to move on, he has everything he needs. And it feels like, to me, that's that moment at the end when he looks at his kid, is he realizes, oh, I have everything I need. This is everything I need. He's had his ping pong moment. Sure, man. But this is like, and you could try to argue. I don't know. I feel like this reading is relatively grounded in the text. Maybe, or maybe it isn't. Maybe I'm like wishful thinking. Right, it actually isn't. It's not grounded in the text. It's grounded in what I've seen other people do. Yeah, that's true. Because all we've seen Marty do is turn around, double back, and like double or nothing. All we've seen him do is double or nothing. But it just seems like that moment in the hospital is the kind of moment that would make a significant change. Because also we've never seen him open up like that. And that's what happens to people. I don't know that I'll share the name because this isn't necessarily my story to tell, but there was a big splash artist that did a talk once that I attended. And they said, "Oh, remember like work-life balance. Remember that the art is not everything because." And then I think they mentioned like, and I forget if it was actually them having a kid. I think it was like them losing a parent. And then they sat there at like the hospital and like thought to themselves, well, you could ease up on work a little bit. Because like at the end of the day, when you're in this bed, or at the end of the day, when you have family in this bed, what matters is not if you painted that extra splash. What'll make you happy is not that, oh, I took those work hours and I grinded out that last splash. So because I've seen that realization in other people, I think that's what Marty experiences right then. It looks like that to me. It looks like the first time he opens up. Now you said some shit. Yes, for sure. Right. Right. Like he's never let himself open up that much to his emotions, so it feels like a significant event. Didn't Fantano say he doesn't earn it? Did Fantano have a Marty Mouser take? Well, that's kind of, maybe that's kind of part of what I'm saying. It's not, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but my immediate reaction, like, you were there for that, is I was like, well, Marty wins. Which is weird because, yeah, he kind of doesn't deserve to win. Like, he's kind of fine at the end. And then you can be like, oh, does a movie like that have to be moralizing? But with my reading of the ending, it certainly isn't very moralizing, right? Not in the classical sense that movies often are, where the ending has like a great significance in terms of communicating like the sort of the movie's stance on things. The rest of the movie certainly still says Marty's being an idiot, he's being a stupid idiot. But often I feel like filmmakers use endings as like a symbol, as like the conclusion to their thesis, right? It's just interesting, different, and maybe a little bit of like, oh, he doesn't earn it, to then have the conclusion of your thesis be, and then he wins, man. 777, let's go. Just a kind of complicated movie thematically. Right. Maybe. Maybe dramaturgically. Thematically, it's really just like about ambition and pushing your luck, right? And like a maximalist approach to life. I feel like the theme is quite simple, but how you're supposed to interpret it maybe a bit more complex. Uncut Gems is more moralizing, right? Whiplash, even to an extent. Although it feels like Whiplash is less moralizing and more just like, well, this is what happens. If you live life like this, you get this. And that's where Marty Mauser is Marty Supreme is a little strange, because in that sense the ending doesn't necessarily seem very realistic, or it seems a little bit unearned or unfair, right? Because you can't, it feels unrealistic to say if you live life like Marty Mauser, that's how you'll end up. Doesn't feel like the logical conclusion to his like pattern of behavior. Right, nothing works out like he wants it to, but it kind of works out better. Which is really strange. Is Marty a bad person? Yes. 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 Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For sure. No doubt. I don't think anybody is bad to a degree where they don't deserve any sympathy. I think we're all shaped by our circumstances to a large degree. Nature and nurture, right? It's never your fault that you're bad, because either it's how you were brought up, what you've experienced, or it's literally like in your genes, you're like sociopathically disposed, so you can't understand empathy. Like, no one sane chooses to be evil because they want to, like, they think it's better to hurt people. Is he worse than Sandler and Gems? Yeah, it's been a while, but probably. Yeah, probably, right? Sandler and Gems deserve some sympathy too, I think. And Marty gets people killed, yep. Sandler's a way worse profession? You think dealing in gems is morally reprehensible, period? It's a bit scummy. Probably. I forget. What, he buys gems cheaper and sells them more expensive, right? Obviously the way he does it, yeah. He profits off of exploitation of African workers? Okay, I forgot about that bit. Right. And Marty only profits off of exploitation of all his friends and all of his family and everybody he ever meets. So certainly that must be better. Right. So they're kind of like about the same amount of bad, right? Haven't seen Good Time. Sorry, man. Sorry to disappoint. Man, all these drawings are just so good. He's such a good artist, man. This guy's a good artist. What the hell? What the hell? I swear one day I'll learn how to draw. How to draw good. Forgot lunch break? Nah. But I have to end the stream in like 10 minutes. 10 minutes, we're out of stream for today. I'm gonna go help a friend move. It's gonna kind of take all day. And we start with lunch at 12, which is when most normal people, I guess, eat lunch. Dude, look at that shit. That's a good ass drawing. This guy can draw, man. This DiMaio guy can fucking draw. The brutal run. I wish you luck. Don't die. This also feels like a... I don't know. It's quite a push gesture, right? Either that never happens, or it's just like maybe like the most you can ever push that gesture. But it works. Kind of just works. Among Us sus. You're catching the last 5 minutes of the stream. We'll be helping a friend move, so we end this early, yeah. I know, it feels real strange. I'm like... I almost feel bad. I feel like a fraud for taking a break, for taking 4 hours off work. Have them move on their own. Yeah. Like, I'm not working hard enough, man. You need your stream? Right. Dude, I had this train of thought yesterday. And I was like, man, we work pretty hard. I feel like that's true. I feel like that is true. And then I was like, why did we choose the one industry where even like the shitters work this hard? But then I was like, fuck, that's not even true. Because I feel like med students work hard, lawyers work hard, shit, like cops, firefighters, man, people just work hard. So we're not even special in that sense. Like people just work hard. Yeah, in any other field, I think this level of effort is actually rewarded. That's the thought I had. But then I was like, well, these other fuckers, like if you want to just be a lawyer, not the best lawyer, but just be a lawyer, that's a lot of fucking effort, man. Same thing if you want to be a doctor, right? So we're not even we're not even working that hard. Maybe we are just shitters, man. You can count the amount of parties you went to in school? Yes. On one hand, yes. Going to normal uni. Right. They're out pissing away their free time. Okay. Okay. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. If you've got the data, man, if you've got the stats, you work very hard. Okay. Don't suss yourself out of that. Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll keep that. But then still we can go. Then why the fuck? Then we're just back to the first thing, which was also whack. Is then why choose the field where the shitters work this hard? The time we put in is crazy. The work itself is just not that hard. Right. Right. It's not like firefighting. It's not like yeah. Like physically, no. It's still mentally taxing. But it's not the hardest, definitely not the hardest work you can find. These hours in construction, yeah, you might die, man. I don't know. But that's every job. Right. Okay, cool. Cool. We're back. We work hard, but we're still then back to we chose the field where even the shitters work this hard. Bite the bullet on that it's an easy job. Yeah, yeah. Better make a count, put in the hours. Right. We'll see. It seemed like I had had a lead on an internship at Raw Power, just for like the Daoping internship. Didn't work out. I did get to talk to like a higher up, and he was like, "Yeah, man, you're good. Yeah, it's good. Just need to get something on the CV, which you're trying to do. Okay, cool, dope." And then he was like, "I send your portfolio around to some departments." I was really happy that he did that. And then he sent me a link to like a 3D production 3D internship. Unfortunately, it seems like that's the only option right now. Which was also like 3 months, so it doesn't fit with the fucking Daoping internship. So I gotta look for something else for that. I'm like Sun Creature, because I know Sun Creature did one of those at some point. Because of CV? No, it's not that. That's not. I don't think that's the takeaway. I think the takeaway is just they're not hiring right now, so no job right now, and they're not the type of company to just set up like a new on the fly internship just because there's a guy that asks about it. They're the type of company to like plan internships long in advance and be like, yeah, okay, we want an internship here with this kind of a person doing this kind of work for this kind of a duration. So when I ask for like a spontaneous 4-week internship, it's kind of like a okay, yeah, no, right? That's kind of what it was, I think. Yeah, so like nepotism. I know somebody who knows. That's how I even got the chance. And that seems to be the hardest thing, man, is getting the chance. But you've been saying this too. It's just getting people to look, man. It's so insane. Family, something like that. I don't. I'll tell you later. We're not going to be doing that on stream though. Yeah. That's the thing as well with the fucking Daoping internship is it's like a pretty specific thing that we're asking for. Jenny's supervisor is there now, right? It's like a pretty specific thing we're asking for. So you gotta find a company that's cool enough to be like, yeah, we'll like impromptu set up something new, right? Because it can't be more than 4 weeks, for example. Which that's gonna throw off a lot of people, a lot of companies. Yeah, so you gotta find somebody who's like, yeah, okay, 4 weeks of unpaid labor. Yeah, I'll spend 5 hours setting that up. Which not all companies are cool like that. Can't be more. Nope. Not unless you're like on content. I think then it can be up to 13 weeks. Who the fuck does a 1-month internship? I don't know. Apparently, Sun Creature once. Outrageous. Little bit. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, man. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe you can do like I don't know if you can do this. I haven't looked into that. Do like more than 1 month, but then just do the rest off Daoping, maybe? Could theoretically be something like that, right? I don't know. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna get in touch. Be like, how did that happen? Maybe you can get like special permission to, I don't know. But it didn't end up being relevant with raw power here because they were like, well, the only thing we're going to do right now is like a 3D asset creation internship. We know I'm not going to be doing that. That one's still up. Yep. Or maybe a new one. Did Jenny get an internship? Surprised no one from third year snatched it up. Yeah, I guess so. Not yet. It's April. I forget. I really forget the breakdowns on the timing of that. It's probably fine, right? Right. You do the bendy shape. You add the hips. You add the chest. At some point, you get to draw legs. Add the face, add the head with, if possible, like a communicative, drastic gesture. He does that a lot. Makes sense. Makes sense to me. Somewhere in between. All right, well that's, I think I gotta go now. You need to hear some of my strats? Okay, wait, okay, fair enough. We can do like 2 minutes. Strats for what? You can't get an answer. I don't know, I think we're doing the same shit, man. You write the emails, you fucking, you write on the Instagrams, you fill in the contact forms. Once in a while you get an answer. Off stream is fine. Yeah. And then you just keep going, you do some more. I don't know. I'm not getting that many answers either. If you know contacts, if you have network, you go through them. Dude, you're getting 0? Well, but we talked about how, like, materia, I just did the same thing as you, man, and they just ended up answering me. I got lucky with that, I guess, right? Oh, follow up. Follow up is good. Yeah. I'm not even doing that much. Follow up seems like a really good idea, actually. Yeah, I don't think I have the secrets. We can talk about it some other time as well. Cool. Thanks for joining the stream. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one, which will be tomorrow, which should be a full stream. Until then, have a good one. Goodbye.